rankings. Be honest. If you know boxing, be honest. There's levels.
Very sharp. So like
Dangerous.
very dangerous. Don't look like he's a 46.
He looks like he's 36 or 26.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis was left speechless after witnessing Manny Pacquiao's intense training ahead of the Barrios fight. Despite his age, Pacquiao displayed blistering speed and explosive power, moving with the energy of a fighter in his prime. His sharp footwork and rapid-fire punches had Davis calling him a monster in the gym, clear proof that Pacquiao is far from finished and is preparing to make a serious statement in his comeback. Members of Pacquiao's training camp have echoed that sentiment, revealing that his sparring sessions have been nothing short of impressive. According to teammates, Manny has been pushing through 8-round sessions without missing a beat, maintaining the same speed, power, and timing that defined his prime. His punches landed with precision, and his movement remained fluid and aggressive throughout. They say Pacquiao isn't just keeping up, he's leading the pace, proving he still has what it takes to compete at the highest level.
Everybody is surprised, so it's gonna be a good fight.
What's the most impressive? His speed, his power, his footwork?
It's everything, because you don't see him slow down. People say he's slowing down, but I mean, that's where you exactly going to be surprised, because he's sharp, really, to be honest. Very, very sharp. That's why I don't want to say anything else, but...
No, leave it that.
You know,
But how?
leave it that way, but...
Okay, so let me ask you this. In 11 days, he steps into the ring at the MGM in Las Vegas to fight Mario Barrios. How does the fight end?
There's a chance of knockout.
Manny,
I can see that.
you can see a knockout?
I'm not gonna say what round.
Just that Manny wins either way, knockout or decision.
Yeah. I don't think decision. Maybe the decision is final. I don't know if it's going to be really.
Manny's that explosive.
Everything is. I don't know.
Okay, now let's talk about his son Jim for a second. How talented is his son?
He's very good fighter. You know, he's
Good
going
power.
there.
I've seen him knock people out.
Yeah, he's got power. You know, but right now he's still, you know, we want him to go more, to be ready. Actually, he's ready. We just wanted to work in the inside. We keep it down.
What's your message to all Pacquiao fans who are watching this, who are getting ready, who are excited for Manny Pacquiao Barrios, July 19, Las Vegas?
Tune in.
Don't go to the kitchen, don't go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
don't look at your phone, because it can happen.
Because I know Mario Barrios also is training hard too. Manny also, he trained like there's no tomorrow.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. expressed full confidence in Pacquiao's ability to win another world title. Despite the time away from the ring and his age, Jones believes Manny's unmatched discipline, experience, and fighting spirit still set him apart. He called Pacquiao one of the few athletes capable of defying expectations, insisting that his comeback is fueled by true competitive fire, not spectacle. According to Jones, Manny's hunger and intensity in training show that he's not here for a farewell tour, he's here to win.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao. That's not the Pacquiao that's happened in this game. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever. When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business where it is, because look how much money he made.
Here we go. Who's greater than me? I said Sugar Ray Robinson. He said Sugar Ray Robinson. How many wins he got? I said he got like over 100. He stopped him. He said, well, who got more championships? Me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's 4 titles now and then. There was just one thing. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, do I not have 28? I said, I was just like, he said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is greater than me. I said, Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. He said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a great career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids. I said, you didn't fail in the test, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I saw that as a initiative. This is what you about to do. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that he's great.
Mario Barrios made his stance clear. While he respects Manny Pacquiao's legacy, none of that respect will matter once the bell rings. Barrios acknowledged Pacquiao's greatness outside the ring, but inside it, he sees him simply as a challenger coming for his belt. He stressed that legacy won't earn Pacquiao any favors in the ring. He intends to treat him just like any other opponent trying to take what's his. Barrios' words reflect a serious, focused mindset, free of sentiment and full of purpose.
You know, ever since the fight was announced, I think initially I was kind of just like shocked. Like, man, dude, like, Pacquiao wants to fight me. Right? He wants to fight me for my title. I think for the sport, boxing, and I think just sports in general, like Manny is that name. When you think about boxing, right, he's somebody that comes to mind. At least for me, like I've been watching him since I was, I guess, since my earliest memories of boxing. Manny has been a name that's like, okay, like he's the man. And yeah, you know, now he wants to come out of retirement. He wants to fight me for my title. I can't look at it as anything other than, you know, it's just another opponent trying to take what's mine. You know, he's outside the ring. I have, you know, nothing but respect for him, nothing but respect for everything he's accomplished, for the person he is, you know, everything he does, you know, for his country and more. But as soon as we step in the ring, you know, he's in there trying to take what's mine.
I'm not training with the mentality, you know, that I'm getting ready, you know, to fight an icon, to fight a legend. At the end of the day, he's just another man, you know, trying to fight for my title. He's going in there trying to, you know, take my title, and I got to do whatever it takes to make sure he does it.
Brian Mendoza offered a balanced perspective, praising Pacquiao's legendary career while also acknowledging the realities of aging in boxing. He noted that although Manny's instincts and speed remain sharp, physical decline is inevitable and may start to show in the later rounds. Mendoza emphasized that while fans are right to admire Pacquiao's drive, they should also brace for the challenge of maintaining elite performance under the demands of a high-stakes fight at this stage of his career.
Don't say that before the interview.
I don't. This is an unbiased opinion.
Man, I'm looking forward to it, you know, even just as a boxing fan, you know, obviously coming up, there's always, you know, seeing Pacquiao's fights and stuff, and now to see the homie, you know, going up against him like that, it's wild, man, it's a wild feeling. I know even more so for him, but, nah, man, I just think at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, the age will show up in the fight. I think at first, you know, he's had people talk about the layoff, but it's also a rest for someone at that age. So I feel like he's going to be rested. I feel like you might see, you know, hints of little old Manny, no pun intended, the old Manny. Little bits of flashes of that in there, but I think at the end of the day, man, Mario's super sharp. This is the sharpest I've ever seen him, you know, this far in camp. I'm super excited, bro, and he's gonna put on a great show. I still kind of lean towards like a decision, but regardless, it's Mario's way. If there is a stoppage, I think it'll be in like the second half. Like I said, you know, because I think that's really when the age is gonna show, because you can look good in the gym, man, but once those bright lights are on you, anything that's wrong will come out. So as much of a legend man he is, I think, you know, he bit off a little more than he can chew with Barrios.
Despite doubts about his age, many fans remain convinced that Manny Pacquiao's natural skill and ring IQ are still sharp. Recent training footage has reignited confidence among supporters who believe he still has the strength and explosiveness to go toe-to-toe with younger opponents. They argue that Pacquiao's awkward angles, tireless engine, and aggressive style have always been his greatest weapons, and those traits don't simply vanish with time. Their faith in his adaptability and sheer determination continues to fuel excitement for his return.
Manny Pacquiao returns to the ring against a young fighter, champion WBC, Mario Barrios. How do you see that fight playing out?
Barrios is a tall guy, and he's a tough guy. You know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt because Pacquiao is champion, the holder of the records of 8 divisions, and he knows how to fight, he knows how to win. So you always got to give it that opportunity for him to show up. And now whoever shows up in that ring, whether it's a desire to win or just try to be there, that's a question that we have to see. But I believe that he has the ability to to do something to win the fight against Barrios.
Experts suggest that Pacquiao's best chance lies in a fast, calculated start. With endurance potentially waning in the later rounds, analysts believe he should come out aggressive, using his trademark speed to put pressure on Barrios early. By dictating the pace and establishing dominance from the opening bell, Pacquiao can gain momentum and avoid falling into the fatigue trap. Capitalizing on Barrios' slower reactions while minimizing unnecessary exchanges will be key to his success.
I was talking to somebody about Manny coming back fighting Mario Barrios. And this was the analogy I gave. Your timing it slows down. That's time. Time slows you down. And so, to me, I think Manny has to come out very strong, very fast in the first couple of rounds because his gas tank ain't what it used to be. At 46 years old, you come out and let's just say hypothetically your gas is half full at 46 years old. I'd rather try to use that half tank
when I got something
in 2 or 3 rounds. And really get off on this kid because he has the kind of style. Styles make fights. He's got the perfect style for Manny to do what he do. But the further that fight goes, the more that's gonna go down. He ain't young no more when it does this. It ain't gonna do this no more. It ain't gonna go down and then come back up. He not gonna create space, take a deep breath, and that thing shoot up the way it used to. He ain't gonna do that, you know?
Observers have highlighted possible flaws in Barrios' defense openings a seasoned fighter like Pacquiao could exploit. With his sharp combinations and clever angles, Manny has the tools to break through Barrios' guard. Critics argue that Barrios leaves gaps that Pacquiao's ring intelligence can take advantage of. If Pacquiao stays alert and avoids early damage, his relentless style could cause serious problems for the younger fighter.
Pacquiao Barrios, bro. Who do you like?
It's hard to know, at the age of Pacquiao, what we're going to get from him, But I'll tell you this. Depending on his conditioning, right? Depending on how much he can pop in on that instep that he brought to me, that notorious fast instep, if he can pop in that instep, and if Pacquiao can get in, I know he can hurt Mario Barrios. Defense of Mario Barrios is still suspect. He is willing to get caught. You can catch the kid. Not hard to find.
There are lingering questions about Barrios' level of competition. Analysts point out that he's been stopped by fighters lacking the speed and power Pacquiao still appears to have. While Barrios is solid, many believe he hasn't proven himself at the elite level. This gives Pacquiao an opportunity, especially if he controls the pace and forces Barrios into uncomfortable territory. With a disciplined approach, this is seen by many as a very winnable fight for Pacquiao.
Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
I am. I'm cool with it. If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was at one time one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine with Mario Barrios, who we know what he is on the top level. He comes up short. He's been stopped by fighters that are less than Manny Pacquiao and Davis. So I like this fight. I think he's not going to be an overwhelming favorite, but I think it'll be a 50-50 fight, regardless of his inactivity and age. His explosiveness, even at this age, his greatness, and the fact that you can never know what Barrios you're going to get. And yeah, man, I like this fight. Why not? Nostalgia, marketable, everyone will be behind him. It'll be internationally successful. I'm in.
How are you comparing Pacquiao coming back this summer at 46 after not fighting in 5 years to Pacquiao in 2019 fighting Keith Thurman, which came after back-to-back wins over Lucas Batiste and Adrian Broner? Those two scenarios could not be more different.
Some analysts believe that if age weren't a factor, Pacquiao would be the clear favorite. Even now, they argue his fundamentals are strong and his ring IQ remains unmatched. Training reports back that up. Those close to his camp say he's been displaying excellent footwork, crisp combinations, and remarkable sharpness. He's reportedly gone several hard rounds in sparring without slowing down, which has only reinforced confidence in his ability to perform at a high level.
So former 8 Division World Champion, now Hall of Famer, Manny Pacquiao is now gearing up to take on welterweight champion Mario Barrios. Man, this is going to be an interesting fight. Now, I see a lot of people talking about Pacquiao saying that he's a former shell of himself, which he probably is. But make no mistake, 60% Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat on a lot of these young guys. Now, people are talking about Mario Barrios because he beat Udonis Ugas, someone who beat Manny Pacquiao last time out. But styles make fights, and this training footage of Manny Pacquiao training, I don't know. I think Barrios might be in for a long night, especially given his last time out with Ramos.
Paulie Malignaggi has raised valid concerns about whether Pacquiao can maintain his form across a full-length bout. While he praises Pacquiao's preparation, he notes that age affects recovery and endurance, especially in championship rounds, where stamina and leg strength are critical. Still, Malignaggi concedes that Pacquiao is no ordinary fighter. Despite the risks, he believes Manny might be one of the rare few capable of overcoming these physical limitations.
What do you think about, Manny's decision and obviously getting thrown right into a title shot?
When you get older, your legs are not the same. You may have very good legs for a few rounds, but as you drag out a long fight, your legs start to betray you. I felt that later in my career. I would get into shape, but now all of a sudden, around 10, 11, 12, my legs are dragging ass, bro. Pacquiao, having not fought in a while, 46 years old, a lot of tough fights, a lot of wear and tear on Manny Pacquiao, but Manny had 70-plus pro fights. And he wasn't a defensive specialist. A lot of impact, a lot of back-and-forth impact. He's 46, he had a lot of heavy wear and tear into his late 30s and early 40s. So how are his legs going to be? That's my biggest thing, because I think, Manny was a range-changing fighter. He was he was that style, in and out. He's not a pocket guy. And an in-and-out guy needs his legs, and needs his legs the whole fight. Unless he lands something big. I will say, I think Mario Barrios. I think he bucks.
Mario Barrios acknowledges Pacquiao's greatness but warns that even legends can't beat time. He believes the later rounds will be his advantage, thanks to his youth and stamina. History, he points out, has shown that aging champions often falter when pushed into deep waters. Critics echo that sentiment, arguing that while Pacquiao may still land clean shots, his knockout power might no longer be what it once was. To win, they say, Pacquiao will need more than timing, he'll need sustained power to end it early.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Manny Pacquiao will actually be fighting Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. If this man comes back and beats Barrios, which, if I'm being totally honest, I don't think he's winning this fight even remotely. I think he could actually get stopped, in my opinion. It's not because Manny's not great enough and he's one of the greatest of all time. You could argue that he is the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? 8th division champion. But he's just too old, man. This man is 46 years of age. If he wins this fight, he ties Bernard Hopkins' record for the oldest champion in boxing. That would be crazy, but if I'm being honest, I just don't see him winning. I see him getting stopped, dropping the stop, if I'm being honest. He is having trouble with Ampo, bro. And Ampo not even a boxer, he's a kickboxer. I just don't think I just think he's too old, to be honest. I just think he's too old. But let me know what y'all think down below, man.
In an interesting twist, Barrios' own trainer has warned against underestimating Pacquiao. He suggests that Manny's public absence may have been misleading, and that he could have stayed in shape all along. A well-rested and fully recovered Pacquiao, the trainer says, might actually be more dangerous, something rarely seen in boxing. He believes Pacquiao's sharpness in camp suggests he never really left the sport. Still, the comeback has its critics. Some argue that returning legends risk tarnishing their legacy, especially when facing active, younger opponents. They believe Pacquiao has nothing left to prove, and stepping back into the ring could do more harm than good.
So Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title is being targeted for late July in either San Antonio or Las Vegas on Amazon Prime. And Pacquiao is currently in a Senate campaign in the Philippines in May, but after that he wants to return in the summer for a world title and try to break his own record as the oldest welterweight champion at 46 years old. Now I have every issue in the world with this. You know, Manny Pacquiao is my favorite fighter of all time, but this is just not great for boxing. Pacquiao's last fight was 4 years ago in 2021 against Jordanis Ugas. And in that fight, he looked a lot slower, not as explosive, and he got outboxed. And then last year when he was targeting the Barrios fight, he had an exhibition against a kickboxer, Rukia Anpo first. And he looked even slower and even more hittable in that fight. You know, I don't think Pacquiao should be sanctioned to fight a world title fight at 46 years old. And not that Barrios is some scary knockout artist or pound-for-pound level talent. You know, if there's one champ at 147 that Pacquiao could upset, it would be Barrios. But in all likelihood, Barrios being the younger, bigger guy, he's just going to beat Manny for 12 rounds, probably stop him late. So I just don't want to see the fight. You know, Pacquiao's accomplished everything in the sport. He really doesn't need another fight at 46.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates as Pacquiao versus Barrios draws near.